Hey everyone, welcome to Distance Learning 2020. We're going to streamline pre-calc as best we can. I will make videos of each of the lessons just like we would do it in class. So here we go. We left off with law of sines. Remember, you're finding angles and sides in triangles. Law of sines works great under certain situations. Law of cosines is needed for triangles where you are given side angle side information or side information. So here's what I mean by that. So if I have triangle ABC and I'm given this side, this angle, and this side, for instance, side angle side. If I try to use law of sines, it wouldn't work out for me. Sine of angle 100 over a variable x and sine of angle c over 12. I'd have two variables in that proportion and I wouldn't be able to solve that. So this situation, side angle side, is when we need the law of cosines, okay? So here in this situation, what I would be able to find first is side B. That's the missing side. So I would use this form. So notice what it's giving you. So if I want to find side B, I need to know side A, I need to know side C, okay, and I need to know angle B. Okay, so I can plug that all in and figure it out. If I want to find side A, I'm just going to erase these values for right now. If I want to find side A over here, I would need to know side B, side C, and angle A, those three. So side angle side again. Okay, and then of course this is for side C, I would need to know these three. So it's a side angle side situation. Okay, so let's see if we can figure out the first example here using law of cosines. All right, so I'm just going to draw a real generic triangle. It most likely won't be drawn to scale, you know me. So angle C is 25 degrees, side B is 4, that probably doesn't look right, and side A is 10, well, side B looks longer than there. So, but again, the dimensions aren't important, it's just the information that we have here. So this is side angle side. What I'm going to be able to do is find side C using law of cosine. So if I just click back here real quick, side C, we're going to use this bottom formula. Okay. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c is the formula. And of course we're going to substitute those values in. C squared equals 10 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 times 10 times 4, and then cosine 25. And at this point, all you do is you type that in left to right on your calculator, take a square root, just make sure you are in degree mode, right? That's important. Degree mode, okay? And let me grab my answers here so I get the right values. We get c squared at 43.5, and then of course that's way too long. Take that square root to get 6.6. for this missing side. So that's law of cosines, okay? You have to be given side angle side all right next to each other, and then you can find that missing third side. Okay, at this point you have plenty of information to now use law of sines to find either angle A or angle B. So if let's do angle B. Let's do these. So let's set that up. Just quick review. Sine B over 4 equals sine C over, sine 25 is what I should write. Sine 25 over 6.6. And remember, you are just doing a little cross product right here. 6.6 times sine B. And then to solve, you would divide by 6.6 on both sides. And you get sine B equals to some little decimal value, but don't forget to find angle B, you have to do inverse sine, right? So on your calculator, let me just quick do that. Again, this is all in degrees, so 4 times sine 25 divided by 6.6, and then inverse sine of that answer. So this, remember, is 2.56. So inverse sine of 0.256 is what you actually type in. So running out of room, we get angle B equals 14.8 degrees. And so 14.8 degrees. And then our angle A is what we have left, and we'll just simply subtract from 180 degrees to get that final answer. So angle A would be 140.2, oops, not 0.4, 140.2 degrees. And so then we have all of our missing pieces. And that's using law of cosine. A little bit of law of sine sprinkled in there too. That will be on your first quiz. Law of sines, law of cosines together for your first quiz on quarter 4, which will be, by the way, on Google Forms. You must pass all quizzes. You've probably heard that we're going to pass-fail, so you're going to need to pass all quizzes. And they're just going to be multiple choice on or short answer on Google Forms. Okay, here's the second situation with law of cosine, side, side, side. So we are given 3 sides. Of course, what you're supposed to find are angles, okay? Law of sines wouldn't work in this situation either. There's not room to put 3 sides into that proportion. So when given this, okay, you have a different version of this formula, and I'm going to just quick write those out for you. If I solved this for cosine A, this is what the equation would look like. It would look like b squared plus c squared minus a squared divided by 2bc. I'll put parentheses around that. You maybe want to write these versions down. If I want to solve this one for cosine B, the equation would look like a squared plus c squared minus b squared over 2ac, parentheses around that. And then solving this one for cosine C, it would be a squared plus b squared minus c squared divided by 2ab, parentheses on the numerator and denominator as well. Okay, the one thing to definitely notice here, if I want to find angle A, I subtract side A in the formula. If I want to find angle B, I subtract side B in the formula, and then of course C and C in those formulas. So make sure you have those versions. There's just one of those on the back of your yellow sheet, which had the law of sines, law of cosines. And then, by the way, on your quiz that you'll be taking, that first quiz, you get to use all resources, okay, including this video if you want. But your notes, which you had a copy of prior to our last day of school, you'll get to use the video, you get to use your resources, you'll get to use your practice problems too. Everything's open. All right, so back to this example. I have 3 sides, okay, and I have side 5, I have side 12, which will be the biggest one, and then I have 10. Okay, so there we go. So setting this one up, I did try to draw it to scale a little bit better. But remember, law of sines had the limitation of not being able to find obtuse answers. But law of cosines can find obtuse answers. So you want to find the obtuse angle first, or the largest angle first. I don't know if it's going to be obtuse, but I know it's going to be the largest one. So that's very important. Find largest angle first when using law of cosines. Okay, so make sure you do that first. So I'm going to find angle B. So I'm going to use the cosine angle B formula, which is a squared plus c squared minus b squared all over 2ac. Okay, so that's the one I'm picking. And then, of course, it is 5 squared plus 10 squared minus 12 squared over 2 times 5 times 10. Okay? Keep all of that in parentheses. Be sure you practice typing this in. It's all of this divided by all of that. It'll give you some kind of weird little decimal value, and then so you then hit inverse cosine. Okay, so parenthesis 5 squared plus 10 squared minus 12 squared divided by parenthesis 2 times 5 times 10. All right, gives us negative 0.19. By the way, if you get a negative decimal number here, you know that's obtuse. Okay, or I know it's obtuse. You know now too. So second cosine of answer, use that last answer key, 100.95 degrees. I believe on your quiz we have you rounding to the nearest whole number on angles. So we're going to call it 101 degrees. So follow those directions when you get that first quiz on how you're supposed to round. So now I know this at 101. Okay, and then I can use law of sines. I could go ahead and use law of cosines again if I wanted to. I'm going to review law of sines just because that's also on your quiz and it's been a few days. So sine C over 10, over 10 equals sine 101 over 12. So that's going to allow me to find C. Okay, cross multiply 10 times sine 101 divided by 12. Okay, again, it'll just give you some crazy little decimal value, and so you do the inverse sine of that decimal value. Let me just quick calculate. Sine 101 divided by 12, inverse sine of answer, gives us 55 degrees, rounding to the nearest whole number. All right, so now we have angle C, we have angle B. We are certainly just going to subtract from 180 for angle A. All right, so angle A is 180 minus 101 plus 55. So angle A would be, that'd be 156, which would be 24 degrees, I believe, if I did that correctly. Okay, so there's law of sines, law of cosines, finding angles. So if you have all three sides, law of cosines, find the largest angle first. It's across from the largest side. Okay, so there's that example. Please feel free to pause and look at things as needed a second time. The next example is not going to be a part of our quiz, so we're just going to skip and streamline things. So area of a triangle, skipping this example as well. Okay, so we're going to go to Heron's formula. Heron's formula is a way to find area of a triangle if you are given three sides, side A, side B, side C. Okay, so it's just a different way. Instead of using 1/2 base times height, we can use this formula. Okay, so here's the formula. It talks about needing the semi-perimeter. So perimeter is all the way around. Semi-perimeter is half of that. Okay, so A, B, and C are sides of the triangle. Okay, add them up, divide by 2 to get the semi-perimeter, and then the area is given by this little formula. So semi-perimeter minus the first side, semi-perimeter minus the second side, and semi-perimeter minus the third side. Take the product and square root of all of that. So let's give it a try. Okay. Find the area of a triangle with sides 10, 12, 14. Okay. 10, 12, 14. Picture's not necessary, but our semi-perimeter is. So we'll just quick do that. Semi-perimeter is 10 plus 12 plus 14 divided by 2. Right? We're going to add that all together. So what do I get here? 36 divided by 2, which is 18. Divided by 2 is 18. Okay, that's our semi-perimeter, and if we plug that into our formula, area equals big ol' square root semi-perimeter 18, okay, times the difference of that semi-perimeter in every single side. So 18 minus 10, 18 minus 12, 18 minus 14. Of course, I'm just going to simplify that real quick before I type that in. So that's 18 times 8 times 6 times 4, and then take a square root of all of that. All right, I should have that all written down somewhere. Where is that? So that gives us the square root of 3,456, or an area of 58.8 square units. So just a different formula. Obviously, we didn't have the height in this triangle, so 1/2 base times height, we would need to kind of figure out that height. So just a different option that you have for that. And so there'll be one of those on your quiz as well. So make sure you know how to use that. Okay, so those are the examples. As I mentioned, your assignments are going to be much, much shorter. We're just hitting what's important. It's not a lot of practice, okay? So if you do it and you feel like, I got this, then that's all you need to do. You'll have a quiz that follows. If you feel like you need more practice, just do extra problems in each of these sections. So we're going to use the online book. Okay. You maybe have it bookmarked from earlier in the year. I know we've been using worksheets, but it's phschool.com, and then that's the front web page for Pearson. If you need, and here's the code. But if you have it bookmarked, you probably don't need all of this. Okay. But we're going to go to 5-6. Okay, section 5-6. And we're going to just do these 4 problems. That's enough. Check your answers under selected answers, okay, in the back of the book. I did throw up a couple problems from Law of Cosines if you feel like you want to review that again. Or maybe you still have your review or your notes, and that's fine too. So you're not handing this in, okay? We're just going to do pass-fail, and we're passing all of our quizzes, right? That's what we're doing, and those will be on Google Forms, okay? I'll just show you quickly what the online book looks like, okay? So online book, go to chapter 5. Once you have it bookmarked, all the way down to 5-6. It opens up the entire section. There's lots of good resources in here, examples that you could look at as well. But of course, the problems you're going to do are under the 5-6 exercises at the end of each of these sections. Okay, and here again, start with number 1. Try that. Answers are under selected answers. If you go back to this table of contents, selected answers part 2, and chapter 5 comes up right away, but you can arrow through here and just scroll through here and find the answers. Okay, so check out, if you're not getting the answers that are in the back of the book, okay, please email me. Check other resources, or please email me. We want to make sure that this experience is working for you. Okay, so we'll be in constant contact via email, Google Classroom. Okay, so good luck. See you next time.